FMG. We are in a conversation with Mr. Sudhir Kunder, the Country Director of DECIX. Pleasure to have you here, sir. Good morning. So, sir, we'll start with some basic questions first. First of all, tell us something about yourself and your brand, and how do you correlate with your brand?
So, thanks for having me here. As far as something about me is concerned, I come in with an experience of about 27 plus years, right through FMCG and telecom plus ICT, all put together. And in this organization, I've completed 2 years now. Coincidentally, now it's 2 years. And the brand typically, if you see, has been known for having one of the highest standards when it comes to the interconnection. DECIX Global got formed 25 years back, and it's the 26th year running as of now. And in India, we've been about 4.5 years now. So we come with a unique proposition which has a single access port with multiple services that you can provision across. So that in short is what DECIX is, and we are spread across many countries around the world and headquartered in Germany. And as I said, last 2 years have been a great level in terms of how we've been able to redefine the interconnection ecosystem here.
Okay. So, sir, now we'd like to know about the services provided by the company.
Okay. So, as far as the services are concerned, we have multiple services, as I said, across a single access port, which is something that will be unique for us, and which is what makes us relevant not only to the ISP community in large, but also the enterprise community. And if you see here in India, we have a huge market spread across SMEs, SMBs, and enterprises. And as of today, we have peering, which comes as the number one service, which helps you offload traffic to the extent of about 92% in our case from your transit setup. And then comes in direct cloud. So direct cloud gives you a unique opportunity to slice and dice your requirement right from 10 meg to 10 gigs. And this is relevant again to both enterprises as well as the ISPs. Now, when you say direct cloud, it's a service wherein we have connectivity across 4 major cloud service providers, which contribute to about 92% of the Indian cloud space today. We have Oracle, we have Microsoft Azure, we have AWS, and we have Google Cloud. And this service typically has been the new kid on the block out here, but the responses have been phenomenal for us as far as both these services are concerned. And in a very short span of time, we are also about to launch Microsoft Azure peering services. Initially, we get launched in Mumbai and Chennai, and then we will take it forward to the rest of the 2 locations where we are present, which is Kolkata and Delhi.
Okay. So, what is the goal of this setup that you're talking about, this Microsoft?
So, when you have an enterprise or an SME, SMB organization looking for faster, easier, hassle-free adoption and execution of their reach towards the cloud and the adoption of cloud, and pandemic in fact has made cloud adoption 5x. What would have happened in probably 7-8 years has now been happening in the last 1.5 years. And any CIO, CXO that I've spoken to have seen that they've gone back to the drawing board and got into the cloud mode with full vigor. So what this helps them do is, suppose if there's an organization which is interested, by default they would require AWS and Azure. And that's when, without having any hassle, they can have one single provider who helps them with both AWS, Azure, in the definition that they want in terms of 100 meg or a 500 meg. That mix is 100% in their control. And at the same time, when they look at peering, which helps them, offload a lot of transit traffic out here, what typically happens is it's a total help and support that we give them in their digital transformation.
So, sir, there must be a story behind the foundation of the company. So, what do you have to say about the journey of the company And where does it stand today?
So, like I said, 25 years back, DECIX got formed out of a small post office in Germany. And at that point of time, the intention was never, and so it is today, intention has never been profit-centric only. Well, of course, you need to make money to survive and thrive as an organization, but that doesn't come out to be one of the key goals of the organization. And hence, if you see the name also, DE stands for Deutsche, and then the hyphen comes in, and CIX is the commercial exchange. So that is the past and the relevance to what we are. And as of today, as I told you, we are spread across multiple locations with greater than 500 data centers connected. We have Germany, which has got the highest number of customers connected, more than 2,500 odd customers connected. We have 54 cloud service providers sitting out of the same exchange. And then when you have an ethos that runs within the organization, that gets transferred to the Indian ecosystem also. And hence, the last 2 years typically, we've been able to accelerate our presence out here in India with 4 metros that we've been able to cover. Bombay typically became the hub, as it is the financial capital of our growth journey. And as we speak, in Mumbai, we have more than about 380 plus customers, as a result of which we currently stand as number 1 in terms of connected customers across the Asia Pacific region, which is then monitored by a neutral body called DECIX, wherein we have 29 countries and 153 exchanges. So that's something very proud for each Indian individual to be proud about, saying that one of our locations stands out as number 1 when it is compared across 29 countries and 153 exchanges.
That's an inspirational story, sir. Sir, so you just talked about the internet peering services that the company provides. So there must be other companies as well providing the same services. So what makes DECIX unique in the market?
Yes. So while there are other companies which offer peering as a service, and that is why I don't call myself an internet exchange, we call ourselves an interconnection platform, because what we offer today is unique to us, and it feels very nice when you are able to help out maybe competitors, maybe collaborators in their endeavor to help their customer onto their digital transformation journey. Because my service, when it comes to direct cloud, typically is a white label service. So how he's going to help his customer using DECIX services, that is number 1. Number 2, we put a lot of effort and focus on having a complete customer-centric mindset. So customer always comes first in each and every touch point of ours. Whether it is the ease of doing business psychology that we come onto the fore when we talk to our customers. All my POPs are residing within data centers. We do not have any external handoff mechanisms, or we don't create POPs outside the ecosystem that is supposed to be the heart where the internet exchange should stay. As a result of which, 1, there is robustness, there is resilience, there is security, and there is a lot of manageable effort that we can put via getting each of these data center locations connected over a DWDM double path, as a result of which we have full-scale redundancy. We are the most dependable and today the most preferred IX, as people would call us. Interconnection becomes then a necessity today rather than a good to have. And as you know, what your COVID did for the ecosystem was it made internet also must have from good to have. So roti, kapda, makan and internet. As a result of which, you see a differentiator when it comes to DECIX in the quality of service, in the way we manage our network to give almost 100% uptimes across all our geographies where we are present. And most important is the fact that we have customer centricity right from the time that pre-sales happens, the sales happen, and the post-sales activity. We are the only organization, I think, which today has a single access number where a customer can pick up the phone, dial out, and reach all customer touch points at the touch of a button.
Okay, so now I'd like to ask the clientele of the company and how DECIX ensure an unbreakable faith with its clients.
Correct. So that's probably a logical extension of what I told you a couple of minutes back. That when it came to February or so, nobody knew in 2019 that 2020 that this is going to be the future.
Right.
And that was a time when we invested heavily on network resilience, and maybe you call it just in time, or maybe you call it the validation of our thoughts that no matter what, you give a service only when you are 100% sure. And the German mindset comes into play, and since we both resonate as companies, whether it is in India or in Germany, we have seen that network availability was one of the key important things we've been able to give customers upgrades overnight when their telcos were not able to handle the huge demand that came through suddenly when the shift happened from the office working to the hybrid. Initially work from home and then hybrid. So that is one of the key things where the customers saw that whenever we wanted our business continuity to be in place, DECIX was there for us. And not only there for us, but in a unbreakable and 100% dependable kind of a mindset that they were able to look at us. So that is one point. Second, obviously, while you give them an opportunity to make money via from a client's point of view, we also give them an opportunity to save money. So while on one hand, peering helps them in their journey to optimize their cost and invest that into the right network upgrades within their ecosystem. Direct Cloud helps them actually make money out of the last miles that they already have. So the customers today typically, we're glad to say, are on both sides. One side, you obviously have the Netflixes and Amazons and the VODs and CDNs of the world sitting out of our exchange. And on the other side, you have the ISPs and the enterprises sitting there. So both sides have seen what we've been able to achieve as a hockey stick curve. And if I have to give you a number today, from February 20 to September, our exchange typically saw, our platform typically saw a price of about traffic consumption of about 1700 odd gigs when it came to VOD and CDN. We had gaming, which came in second with about 61% of growth. ISP traffic grew by 500%. So when you have all verticals kicking in with these kind of fabulous numbers, you have to have a very stable, robust, dependable network, which is not only able to be taking care of the business as usual needs, but also the future. And at that time, we said that we are built for the future, not for today. And in all this, when both the enterprises as well as our ISPs were able to look at the latencies coming down significantly, which helped them in their own journey in serving their customers well, thereby leading all of us, including Ivo, who's our CEO, to say that latency today is a new currency.
Okay. So, sir, there's a lot of services provided by the company. So I'm sure that you must have a very experienced and skilled team. So what do you have to say about the team that you have, and how do you maintain the team at least?
So, that is one of the most important aspects that I personally learned very early in my own career, that what you have is not important. What you do with what you have is more important.
Correct.
And in that context, people always matter the most, irrespective of the size of the organization or the business line that you are managing. And hence, it is exhilarating to tell you that the phenomenal numbers that we brought to the table in terms of managing growth, managing customer expectations, going beyond our call of duty most of the times, we were able to, as a team, make things happen, which today led to a lot of firsts and led to a lot of accolades coming our way. And it is the same team neither did we add anybody nor did we lose anybody. The same team which was there earlier was able to create this kind of a transformational, professional, performance-driven tip of the arrow kind of a setup that we have.
So there must be certain factors that must have helped the brand to grow. Like you just mentioned that it emerged from a post office to spreading across the whole world. So what do you have to say about the?
So, as I said, the ethos of the company has always been to make internet an easily accessible and a product which is within reach for every product and service, if you can also. And also the way we conducted our business, wherein it was always factored around how is it that we can serve the community at large, and then all other things come into play. So if you look us up at DECIX.net, there are several initiatives and our endeavors happen, wherein at our own cost we do a lot of research, which then gets spread out into the community as available for everybody for consumption and benefiting out of it. So this typical way of managing business, where people always count as a number one asset, and then comes in obviously the technology that we bring to the fore and our commitment towards excellence in everything that we do. So typically, if you look at us here in India as well, there were services which we could have launched, or there were POPs which we could have launched beforehand, but then we believe that we're not in a race. Our race is towards looking us against what our German headquarters does, and hence there is no rush, there is no, so to speak, work way around where you start off things and then make it good. The focus and attention is always to ensure that the day we start our operations, it is going to be best in class and top of the world.
So any company faces ups and downs in its journey, right? So what do you have to say about the challenges faced by the company, and how DECIX managed to overcome those challenges?
Well, so far as India is concerned, we definitely looked at a lot of challenges. I remember December of 2019, just about 1 month after having joined the organization and having understood what needs to be done there and which are the triggers to actually live your dream. Because when you come into an organization, you would want to build something that is worth thinking about, looking back and feeling proud about. And then there were several challenges at that point of time, whether it was the transport layer that was a challenge. Second was the network at that point of time definitely was not what it is today. And that's why I said that we try to focus on the right things at the right time. Our customer reachability, our customer responses, and the way in which overall we were known in the industry in terms of the awareness. So it's an entire gamut of how would I want to put it, sales, marketing, operations, technology. We had room for improvement everywhere, and as a team we ensured that we worked on all cylinders firing at the same time, and within the right time when we were able to come and touch the market in such a way that this hockey stick journey we were able to take care of without too much of hassle.
So you have 27 plus years of experience. So as a source of inspiration for many, what would your advice be for the young professionals and emerging entrepreneurs?
See, when it comes to my own humble opinion, when it comes to doing what makes you happy, it is the most easiest thing for you to do. And when you try to live your job, I'm sure there are times when you need to balance things out. Work-life balance is something that is spoken greatly about. But if you're passionate about what you're doing, you find your calling, that this is what you need to do, and then you put all your might behind it. There might be successful outcomes, there might be not so great outputs coming in. But when you are able to have that consistent passion, enthusiasm and vigor with which you hit the workspace on a daily basis, eventually excellence becomes a matter of habit. Whatever my humble opinion, if I have to speak, I would say that it is essential for every professional in whatever stage at his career that he is, that once you're able to find your calling, once you put in that level of vigor, enthusiasm, and try to live your job, and you don't look at your job just as a job, you will definitely be able to come out with fantastic results. Because what is more important in today's time, while there is a lot of talk going around the work-life balance, but whenever you're working, if the work gets undivided complete attention and you have the passion which drives you, I think excellence will then become a matter of habit, and that is what will become your hallmark as an individual and as a professional.
This was the Global News. We were in a conversation with Mr. Sudhir Kunder, the Country Director of DECIX. Thank you, everyone.